Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Dad is in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauvet, and I'm the founder of Dad is in Control. So before we get started with today's episode, I have an announcement. My wife, Heather Chauvet, has unveiled her Take a Stand campaign. So my wife has enlisted the help of some experts in our local community here, and she's designed, with some help from these experts, a t-shirt campaign that's going to go to support mental health. Now, 100% of the profits from every single shirt sold is going to be donated to local mental health agencies. We have pre-selected a few agencies. We vetted them. We know that the money that we're donating is going to go to a great spot. So how do you participate? Well, heatherchauvet.com/shop has a whole bunch of t-shirts that we've designed. Each and every logo stands for something related to mental health. Your participation is as easy as picking a t-shirt and purchasing a t-shirt. Show your support for this wonderful cause by buying a shirt. That's all we ask. We are not taking any profit from this. We are 100% donating this, and we are so excited to get and spread the word for this amazing cause. I'm going to put a link in the show notes. If you guys are interested, head on over to heatherchauvet.com/shop. Now for today's episode. So over this past weekend, I had the most horrible toothache that I've had in a long, long time. This toothache was a pulsing style of a toothache, and it ran up my jaw into my head. Needless to say, I had a headache most of the weekend, and I was a little bit of a grizzly bear. I wasn't really getting any sleep, and my family knew it. And this all kind of came to a head on Sunday morning. My wife suggested we go out as a family for breakfast. We go to our favorite little breakfast spot, a nice little diner that's pretty close to where we're living, and we're getting the kids in the car. My oldest son came out to me and asked me for the car keys so that he could lock the house, so that he could be helpful. Well, I proceeded to bite his head off and walked into the house myself and looked at my wife in the eyes and said, I can't go because I am grouchy and I'm in pain and I need a minute. So my wife said, okay. She finished getting the kids into the car and she went out for breakfast, and I stayed home. I took an aspirin or whatever pain reliever it was, and I laid down and took a minute and did some self-care, did some meditating, and thought about what I was going to say and how I was going to apologize to my son. So after about 10 or 15 minutes, I felt better. I did the saltwater rinse a few times, and I went and hopped in my car and met my family at the restaurant and proceeded to have fun and have a great meal. Now, when we got home later on, I took my kids aside, specifically my oldest, and I apologized for the way that I was acting. I apologized for what I said, and I explained that the reason I snapped, the reason I was angry was not directed at them. Was not directed at him. It was because I was in pain. What a horrible, stupid fucking excuse that was. But it was the truth. I had yelled at him because I was tired, I had a pulsing headache, and I couldn't communicate that with them. I couldn't portray that to them any other way except anger. Now, I don't want my kids to be afraid of me. I don't want to be remembered as the dad that always yelled. But in this instance, I couldn't help it. But I knew enough that I had to separate myself from the family for a little bit. I needed some time. Because if I had went to breakfast with them, I would have been a miserable grizzly bear, and nobody would have enjoyed their breakfast. And that's not what I want. So, what's the moral of the story? Why am I telling you this? Sometimes you have to cut yourself out of doing something you love to give yourself the space and the time for yourself. Sometimes it's necessary because you just need a breather. You need a minute. You need to separate yourself from the kids. You need to separate yourself from the family. You need to separate yourself from the wife. When you know you're in your red zone, when you know you're angry, when you know you're irritable, you need that self-care. You need to take the nap. You need to take the pain reliever. You need to meditate. You need to go for the run. You need to do something for yourself. Because what's going to happen if you don't? What's going to happen if you attend the event and you snap and you say something that's really, really harmful, or you do something that's really harmful? I'm far from perfect, but I do know when I'm entering my red zone. In fact, I should have known better than to get in the car in the first place. I should have told my wife that I need a minute and I would have caught up with them, but I didn't. And that was my fault. Hindsight is always 20/20. The only thing that I could have done in that instance is separate myself and take some time. But I'm not the priority. I'm never the priority. Right? Wrong. You need to be the priority above your family, above your friends, above the finances, above the relationships. You need to take care of yourself. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme of this podcast, of what my message is. But I'm telling you, father to father, father to person, whoever you are listening to this, that if you don't take care of yourself, you will do more harm to everyone else around you just because you're not your best self, just because you're not putting your best foot forward. Whether you're in physical pain, emotional pain, exhausted, whatever it is, whatever your feelings, whatever your symptoms are, you have to deal with them. Now, you know that the first thing I did on this Monday morning was call the dentist and set up an appointment to get myself taken care of. You know that because I cannot have my family dealing with me with this toothache for another minute. It has to be taken care of. The next thing is, I know that I can't be productive. I know that I'm not my best self because I'm at a disadvantage. But I'm not going to let this disadvantage keep me from doing things. I'm not going to let it keep me from going to the gym or doing things that I enjoy, like hanging out with my kids at the park or doing things. But I know I have to communicate better with them and tell them, listen, Daddy needs a minute because my tooth hurts and I need whatever. But your kids don't know. They can't read your mind. Your wife can't read your mind. Your employees, they don't know what's going on. So you need to let them know. You need to communicate with them so that they can recognize and call you out when you need a second. Hey, Brian, maybe you should take a second. Maybe you should go for a quick walk because I could see you're getting irritated. And when it's time and when you get these little pieces of advice from people, take them. Don't get defensive. Just take them. Take the minute, take the breath, take the time. You'll be glad you did. That's my message for today, guys. That's it. So, thank you in advance to all of you out there for the support, for the love. I urge you guys, head on over to my wife's website, heatherchauvin.com, and do some shopping. Help us get behind a great cause. Help us become the change that we want to see in the world. We have a lofty goal for this campaign, but with your help, with everyone spreading the word, we can do it. We can make a difference in today's society. Thanks in advance. Till next time, I'll see you in the group.